While the game loads in, I'm going to preface this video very quickly. This is not a comprehensive guide. I actually just am uploading, literally as we speak, a 13-minute version of this guide. This is designed to get you started very quickly, and then maybe if you're confused about a couple of things, you can look at the big guide and find some answers there. Step 1 of understanding how to beat Millia is understanding that she is bad at neutral on the ground. She just doesn't have the tools for it. She's also bad at mashing buttons to get out of pressure. She has to be very deliberate and specific when doing so. She will crumble under pressure. She only really has big out buttons to try and escape pressure, so if you get her in the corner and you keep pressure on her, she will struggle a lot against that. Two big things that people fail at punishing quite often, especially at lower levels, but must punish is this. If you block this, you can absolutely punish it. And specifically, you should also be punishing this into this. This disc, S-disc, actually does have a long recovery on it. You can punish it, go lab it out, figure it out, you can solve it. First thing we're going to talk about is air approaches. Good Millias should be super jumping nice and high into the air and then trying to approach with Capel or just trying to diversify how they land. The trick here is to be patient, do not press big commitment buttons, and to try and snipe her as she comes in. Once she has used Capel, she is committed to that arc. She cannot change her movement further, so she will be getting in that way. You can then punish her for it, try and catch her out the sky, and blow her up. You only need to get this right once or twice, and Millia will just die. She doesn't have much health or defense. Another thing Millia will try and cheap you out with is doing overhead into overhead. This is not a true string. You can 6B out of it, blow her up for trying. In general, Millia will use jump H into 2K to try and get a follow-up 2D. The 2D will then set up the disc pressure. Explaining everything about the disc is more than this 2-minute guide can realistically handle. So, 2D disc into H disc, you cannot contest with anything but a invincible reversal. If you do, she has options to call you out for it, but it will blow you out of that pressure if you think she's going to try and do anything fancy. From the 2D disc, she can do side switch, she can do high, low, she can kind of do anything she wants. The only way she can't really mix you up is by going into disc, into cross up, into a low. She won't be able to do that in time. At this point, you just have to kind of guess what options she's going for. You can try and spot out the dash for the side switch. You can try and follow her, block high, then block low to try and block the high, the low attempt. The disc will hit you first meaty, and then you will have to block the low afterwards, but you are guessing at this point. Throw disc and any other disc is not meaty, however. She has to try and hit you on the way down. She can beat your 6P attempt by using Capel. She can beat a mash attempt by using jump K on the way down. But otherwise, you can contest out of this. You can also just jump out of it. Escaping from it is a good idea because you reset back to neutral, and again, she is not strong there. If you are going to try and contest Millia in the air, it's generally a bad idea. Try and use a quick, non-committal button. Do not spam it. If you spam it, you'll get counter hit. But just try and use stuff like Jump K is a good option for a lot of characters. Guy's Jump K, for example, is incredible as well. Final thing we'll talk about is her block strings. The tricky part of Millia's block strings is this command dodge, Mirage. One thing about Mirage is it does actually have a hurt box low to the ground. Any low attack will just blow it up. You can also throw her out of this nonsense. Mirage is a very dangerous tool in that she can use it to basically cancel out of any of her pressure strings at any point and then go for a throw, which sets you back up into the disc pressure, and then you're back to this annoying problem. In general, with Mirage, you can react to it, you can try and throw her out of it. Fuzzy throwing and fuzzy jumping are both excellent options. The other part of her mix is this move here, 6H. There are a couple of ways of beating this. Safest option is actually the gap here. You can backdash out of this move. If you time it well, you can also do an invincible reversal. You can't throw out of it or anything like that. You can't jump out of it, don't try. But you can jump out of any follow-up if she tries to do this nonsense. If you are trying to do an invincible reversal, she can do this and throw you out of it, just so you know. Final pieces of quick advice I will give you is do not be afraid to use YRC to get out of disc pressure. Do not be afraid to burst out of it. And basically, if you do get wall splatted back into neutral, this is not a failure for you. This is actually kind of bad for the Millia, and she will not be happy about this situation. If you can deny Millia opportunities to get the wall splat into a super finish, then that is good for you. Be precise, contest her on the ground, and do not be afraid to just move around and be very precise with your anti-airs to try and snipe her out of the sky when she approaches you. Otherwise, good luck.